Ghost from Fractured Pawn, and today I'm going to be showing you how to play Path of Rivals by Earl Silva of Terrier Games. Path of Rivals is a dexterity, card collecting, and battling type of adventure game. It is very reminiscent of the old Pokemon video games. Path of Rivals is a very unique game, it is a bunch of fun, and it's free to play. So without further ado, grab a deck of cards and let's get started. Path of Rivals is a two-phase game where you capture your creatures and then battle your opponent with them. The first phase is the setup phase. Get a deck of cards and save the box. You'll need it. Then sort all of the cards, aces, jack through kings, and 2 through 10s of each respective suit. Next, you'll want to take the ace of diamonds, the ace of clubs, and the 2 through 4 of spades and put them into a pile. This will be your movement card pile, and you can set them aside for now. Take the 5 through 7 of spades and the deck box and set them to the other side. This will be your catch track. Each player will then decide who will play red and who will play black. Each player will then take the ace with that representing their character and all of the king through jack cards, which will act as their net and quest cards respective to their color. Next, take the remaining 2 through 10 cards of each suit and shuffle them up. These will be your creature cards. Once they're shuffled, we will then lay them down in what we'll call the path. The path is a grid of 5 rows with 6 cards in each. The 6th card is turned vertically in order to form a visual path. You can leave the last card horizontal. Each player will then place their respective ace card at the end of the path closest to them, as well as putting their king through jacks in 2 matching suit sections in rank order in front of them. This will serve as their nets and their quests. You may then take the 2 piles set aside and place the movement pile to one side of the path, and then organize them into 2 columns, ace through 4, and the catch track to the other, stacking 5 through 7 in a straight line and the box on top. This concludes the setup phase. In order to determine who goes first, you can shuffle up the movement cards and randomly draw one. Whoever has the highest number goes first. In case of a tie, draw again. The next phase is the adventure phase. This is where each player will take turns choosing a movement card and moving through the path, then trying to capture their creatures. The first player will choose a movement card from the movement track. Each movement card values are as follows. Ace is 1 space, 2 is 2, 3 is 3, and 4 is -1, or you move back 1 space. As movement cards are used, they are turned face down, and the next player may not choose those cards. Once all the movement cards are face down, they will then be turned back over to be used again. As players move to new spaces along the path, they will then have a chance to catch and collect each creature card that they land on. To collect a creature card, a player must first choose a net card that they wish to use. Jack is an old net, and you must toss from 3 cards away. Queen is a new net, and you toss from 2 cards away. And a king is a pro net, where you toss from 1 card away. If a player's palm crosses over the catch track cards, the attempt is automatically unsuccessful. As net cards are used, they will also be turned over and cannot be used again until the rest of the player's nets are used. If the net card misses the box or fails to stay on top of the card box, then the attempt was unsuccessful and the player's turn is over. If the attempt was successful, then the player takes the creature card from the path and places it in a pile near them. Players have a choice to keep their creature cards face up and showing, or face down and hidden. At any time during a player's turn, they may choose to do a side quest card. Side quest cards are a one-time use special ability card that the catcher may choose to use during their phase 1. A catcher may play multiple side quest cards on a single turn. When a quest card is used, it is then turned over to indicate that it was used, and may not be used again for the remainder of the game. Jack, Old Man Jack. During your journey, you meet an old man in need of help. You stop to help him, and in return, he helps you. You may throw a missed net again. Queen, Quick Queen's Bike Shop. Tired of walking, you decide to stop by the bike shop. After some friendly conversation with the queen, she lends you a bike. Add 1 or subtract 1 movement space to a movement card. The King is King's Candy Factory. While touring the factory, you learn that the candy works like catnip. Take a free sample. Do not draw a movement card and attempt to catch any creature along the path. A player's turn is over after they have attempted to catch a creature card and chose to or not to do a side quest card. Once a player lands on or passes a space occupied by the other player, the game immediately stops and the battle phase begins. The second phase of the game is the battle phase. Collect and shuffle together all the remaining creature cards from the path, including the 3 catch track cards. Place the pile of cards off to the side of the playing area, within reach. This will become the draw deck. As players battle, the creatures will be shuffled into the draw deck. At the start of the battle phase, a player will begin to shuffle the movement cards, and each player will draw one at random. The one with the highest number goes first. The player placing their creature card second at the start of the battle phase will keep the card box near them to indicate that, in the case of a simultaneous knockout, they will be placing their creature first. Players alternate possession of the card box every simultaneous knockout. Whoever goes first will choose a creature card or set of creature cards and place it out into the playing area. A creature card set is a collection of 2 or 3 cards in ascending order of the same suit. For example, the red player could play 2, 3, and 4 of hearts, or 5, 6, and 7 of hearts, a 3, 4 of hearts, or a 2 or 3 of hearts, but you cannot play a disjointed set like a 2 and 4 creature. When playing a creature set, all cards must be visibly on top of each other. Players can never have more than 1 creature or 1 creature set out at a time. After a player has placed a creature or creature set out in the battlefield, that creature cannot be switched out for a different creature and must remain there until it is knocked out. Both players will then take all of their own king through jack cards and form a hand of 6. These are the cards that both players will use to choose their battle actions. Both players have 2 of each type of action card. The king, which is a counter and blocks a creature's attack. Queen is an ability and uses a creature's special ability. Abilities are based on the individual creature types. Queen cards are resolved first before attack cards. If a creature's ability deals damage, it cannot be blocked if the opponent has played a block card. And Jack is attack. You deal damage to opponent creatures. Battle action cards are resolved in a similar way to rock, paper, scissors. If 2 attacks are played, both players deal damage to each other's creatures. If an attack and counter are played, the damage is blocked. In an attack and ability, the damage is dealt by the attacker unless the ability counters it. If 2 counters are played, then nothing happens. If a counter and ability are played, then damage could still be dealt by an ability, and if 2 abilities are played, then damage could still be dealt or blocked depending on the ability. Players will choose one of their battle action cards to play at a time. Battle action cards are placed face down in front of each player and revealed simultaneously. The cards are then resolved. Once both players have played all of their battle action cards, they will collect them back into their hand and continue playing this way. The movement cards can be used to track the health of the creatures. Aces are worth 10, 2s are 20, 3 is 30, and so on. Each creature has a base of 30 health and a base attack of 10. If a player plays a creature set or a part of a creature set, then the stats are increased by 10 for every card. The max health of any monster is 50 and the max attack is 30. There are 4 different types of creatures and advantages and abilities. Clubs represent the earth type. Their advantage is over water, as they do an extra 10 damage. Their ability is if opponent's card was an attack, they draw a card, and if the number is odd, then ignore the damage, and deal an extra 10 damage to the creature, on top of their advantage type. The diamond's type is fire, and its advantage is an extra 10 attack points to those against earth. Its special ability is if the opponent's card that turn was also an ability, they deal an extra 10 damage. The heart's type is water and does an extra 10 damage against fire. Its special ability is to draw a card. If the number is odd, then they gain a 10 health. The creature's health may not exceed 50. The spade's type is dark, and it has no advantage over the others. Its special ability is to mimic the opponent's ability and add 10 to either damage or to health, depending on the ability. Battling continues until one player runs out of creature cards to play. In the case of a double knockout or tie, whoever's turn it would be to put a creature forth next, indicated by the box, loses. And that is how you play Path of Rivals. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel and TikTok account for more board game content. And don't forget to stop by Terrier Games to check out some more of theirs.